Hey. Welcome back. So, look, first, I want to get into unlocking great design review meeting tips and tricks, right? Uh, but my name is Wayne Pelletier. I own the Resonant Pixel Company. We rescue small businesses from WordPress with our credibility playbook. Now, be sure to hit subscribe so you can comment and like and leave a comment under the video. All of that helps me with this stream and this channel. So if you've ever found yourself struggling to get through a design review, or you're unsure how to articulate what feels off about a design, or if you've struggled with giving or getting feedback in a way that leads to meaningful improvements and helps maintain relationships, keeps everything productive, then you're in the exact right place here today. So I just launched my course. It helps you gain context with, the balancing act of constantly managing as designers, as leaders, as business owners, managing design review meetings. And this framework is it's the way we work through and manage not just common mistakes and get past those quickly, but also with both creatives and clients grasp, core design principles and how to leverage the core design principles. If you're unfamiliar with them, they're pretty cool. If you're already familiar with them, maybe it's just a cool refresher. That's great too. But in order to improve on all fronts, we know the design principles can always be counted on. So my goal is to help you articulate and identify design problems or the challenges within a design, and the media type doesn't matter, so that you can communicate efficiently and effectively the things that aren't quite getting nailed or hitting the mark with any given design. Now, art direction covers a lot of things, and I like to talk about art direction as more of a communication. Yes, it is the assembly of all of the creative, but it's a huge responsibility to manage and navigate conversations around the creative. And the conversation and tips that I provide in the course are kind of proven. I've had thousands of design review meetings, both as a designer, design leader, and even many as a client. And hopefully all the tips and tricks can help contextualize that feedback. I'm going to have an offer here later in the video. I know I'm only like 3 minutes in. There will be an offer later in this video that I hope will surprise and delight you. So yeah, it's for designers, but it's also for clients too. It's only $47. So that seems like amazing to get better at design for only $47. It's got examples of bad design, tips on how to guide the conversation using the principles like I mentioned. And then there's also a look at this. I have this weird box method, and it's probably annoyed some people that have worked for me in the past, where I just start dragging a box around to show how things are aligning and how consistent we are with our white space and our grid. And it's a pretty cool way to look at it, but it's also a gentle way to illustrate maybe these things are off in the design, and maybe we're not adhering to the design principles as well. But when it comes to having that conversation, the real tips and tricks of value are about how to phrase things so that we're not upsetting people, we're not creating defensive posture, and things like I statements, you statements, generally frowned upon when you need team members or contractors or help of any kind to do their best work efficiently and effectively as possible. So I think I think it's pretty awesome. Man, it was a mountain of work to get through. Must have pressed really hard on that for a few weeks, and what a relief. So, if you're watching this video, and this will not be in the description, there will be 10% off the course. What was I going to say? $4.70. It's pretty cool. It's not nothing. So the code at checkout will be YouTube. That's it. YouTube. So put that in at checkout, save 10% and get into the course and see if, you can grow and get better at these calls. I think you will. Now, on to Squarespace news. We need a segment. Maybe I need sound, not just like a card. Maybe I need actual sound, like doot, 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 or something. It's worth a try. I just ummed. You're supposed to catch me on that. Well, there's nobody in here. Never mind. There isn't a you yet. Another one. Damn it. That's funny. The only thing I'll say about building this course on Squarespace was really cool and easy. And it's interesting. I started building out like this notes. I started watching. I do like we all do. Just search on YouTube, like how do you organize the creation of a course? And people got stuff banged out in Notion and Google Docs and Drive and Dropbox and Trello and all kinds of things. And all the systems are amazing. No question about it. But when I was building it out in Squarespace, a lot like designing a Squarespace site in Figma or Sketch or something, Photoshop, it felt redundant. Like I was doing the work twice. So when I started building the course directly in Squarespace in the course module about a week ago, things really sped up fast. It was an easy way to organize it. And on the upside, it was real. I was actually completing the thing instead of just banging out something in Apple Notes or Trello or Notion. That felt really productive. I liked that a lot. So I highly recommend just going into Squarespace and building the course right there as your notes, as your system, and you're fulfilling it as you go. It was pretty awesome, pretty easy to do. There were a couple of hiccups where I was confused about the paywall, but I was able to get through those with their excellent help docs. So that was cool. And I will also add, while I was in the middle of completing sort of the last module and organizing the course, writing some copy for the lead magnet for the landing page for it, I noticed an update in the panel, and I don't know if you've seen it, but there's now in the paywall for paid blog posts, like content gating and any courses and content sales style modules that you put in to the UI, there's now buttons at the top, and I'm not sharing my screen, so just have to trust me. They're really slick. They're so nice, and they make for a lot of clarity, especially when it comes to whether or not you want the course information visible, and then you can't click to watch the video unless someone pays, or hidden behind the paywall entirely. And all they can do is see the overview page that kind of acts like your lead magnet. The buttons are super slick. I'm so glad they added that clarity. It has basically removed an entire click from the workflow. And when you bang on it 600 times, that's actually, that one click in that workflow is a lot of clicks. So no complaints out of me. That was pretty awesome. I don't really have an AI update. I'm looking forward to a webinar with Get Known next week, and I should have some updates on some of the things that they're working on. I'm looking forward to sharing more about that. And what I might do, maybe next week, let me look at it, is have a screen share where I show you how I set up my business and Get Known and how it maintains context. It's it's pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying it. Kin, on the other hand, is forgetting conversations, losing out on small bits here and there. And I think that it is a quality issue. The app is super polished and nice, but I'm running into some quality issues where the thread, like the chat thread, is just missing things I put in this morning that I wanted to expand on. So that was weird. I asked it about it and it wasn't there. So it's disappointing. I don't know. I may look for another one. But when it comes to AI and bridging the gap between personal usage with something like Kin or Pi, and then business usage like Claude or ChatGPT, it's interesting that there isn't a huge market overlap there yet. And that seems like a great opportunity, especially for small business owners, solopreneurs who really business is life, right? Like Danny from Ted Lasso, business is life. All right. So I kind of hit what's popping segment. I know, terrible name at the start of this. So there's no real need to hit on that any further. And as far as Struggle Bus goes, look, it's January 31st. It's the end of the month. So not only is there a lot of work to do, and if you're a solopreneur or you run a small business, you know how many different hats you have to wear. Not only is there a lot of work, client work, content work, production, YouTube live videos, there's also all kinds of things like accounting and administrative stuff that has to be completed at the end of the month. On top of it all, and it being a Friday, honestly, I'm just like, zip your 30. Anyway, I don't have any else. There's nobody in here. Hello. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm modeling this after someone else's live show. They don't even do it anymore. I'm going to go back and watch theirs and see how I can get better at this. I just watched this morning the first 2 full episodes so I could watch myself and see how I'm moving, how I'm speaking, how I'm behaving, how I'm pacing. And hopefully I'm already getting better. It feels like it. I certainly feel like I've gotten better at the outline. Now, I don't script this per se, but I do have an outline. Maybe in a future episode coming up in the next couple of weeks, I'll show you how I do that and execute on it. Maybe that'll be interesting. And like I said in the first episode earlier this week, man, I have so many topics to hit on that it's almost overwhelming. That was the prompt I got this morning from Kin, the AI app I've been chatting with. The app was like, what are the topics you're going to touch on in future episodes of your YouTube live show? And I was like, I can't type them all out right here. I haven't even had coffee. So very much looking forward to getting just a epic shit ton of content in here. Am I allowed to say shit ton? I'm not going to get dinged, am I? We'll find out if I get dinged. Maybe I'll get the explicit label. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I can edit that out. Uninteresting. So anyway, you sat here the whole time. Use YouTube. Go get the course for 10% off at waynepelletier.com. There'll be a link in the description here in just a minute when this publishes. And thank you. And subscribe, like, comment. I know there's nobody watching yet. One day, there will be. Anyway, look, I want to hit 15 minutes. So hang out with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and that's all she wrote.